Practicing speaking can be quite tricky, especially if you don't have a language partner or don't feel comfortable talking with native speaker yet. No stress, let me show you how to level up your speaking by yourself. In this video, I will talk about 3 main things: how to practice with video content, audio content. Secondly, how to practice with you and your imagination. Thirdly, how to practice with textbook, whatever. And the cherry on top, how to practice with AI. Let's go! This first part is all about how to practice with video and audio content. How to use those to level up our speaking skills. So first, I like to call it read the room. You will understand in a moment. Before practicing our speaking skills, we have to get used to how native speaker speaks. So, why read the room? Well, when learning a language is like entering a room where a bunch of people have been there for a long time, and so there is code and way to communicate that we only can pick up if we watch them. So this part is really to understand how does it look to speak the language, how they interact with each other, how they communicate, do they use their hand when they're talking, etc. One thing I try to notice when I watch content in my target language is the shape of their mouth when they are talking. You can tell yourself that it's a bit awkward to watch someone's mouth, but it can give you a lot of hint on how to pronounce words. For example, in Turkish, there is this vowel that pronounces ö, and at the beginning, I was kind of confused to how to pronounce it. And when I remember one of the TV show I watched where one of the character will say öyle mi, the shape of her mouth was like ö. And I was like, oh, okay, that's how we pronounce it. So watching the shape of their mouth can give us hint to how to pronounce the words. Tamam? Tamam. And then we just have to copy them. How? By shadowing and repeating. The 2 exercises are same, but different. Shadowing is when you start speaking when the native speaker already started to speak, but you start just after they start. So 1 second after them. And you will speak while they're speaking.
我很忙，我换了工作。你的新工作怎么样？我不在学校，我做旅社了。
What repeating is letting the native speaker finish their sentence, pausing, and repeating what they're saying.
我很忙，我换了工作。我很忙，我换了工作。你的新工作怎么样？你的新工作怎么样？
So choose a clip from a movie, a TV show you like, or a dialogue from a lesson. Try to choose a content you kind of understand, like 60 to 70%, so you know what you're saying, and choose rather to shadow or to repeat. And try to focus on copying and mimicking how they pronounce the words. Try to act like them, try to speak like them, to recreate the emotion. Yeah, copy them all the way. Part 2 is all about you and your imagination. So first is monologue or narrative game. Well, whatever you want to call it. It's just a glorified version of talking to yourself, but it sounds less, crazy. So try to narrate your daily life with your target language. So every time you do something, try to ask yourself, how will I say this in my target language?
我在工作呢。我在看书，这本小说很好看。
You can also practice responding to common subject. For example, how to talk about your hobby, to introduce yourself. In Chinese, every time I meet someone new, they will ask me why I learned Chinese, how long I've been studying Chinese. Oh my gosh, how is your Chinese so good? Yes, every time, every single time. So when the subjects arrive in real life, we don't have to stress about it. We just know how to respond. Visualizing a conversation. It's like imagine you're in a situation, ordering food, asking for direction, flirting with someone. I'm kidding. Or not. But just try to create a scenario and talk out loud by yourself, being like, oh, hello. Yeah, hi, hello. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? I'm wonderful. Like this. You're not crazy. I trust you. You can do it on the spot by just telling yourself, oh, I'm going to practice ordering a drink. Or you can first write the dialogue down and then practice it out loud. And third point is record yourself. Recording yourself can apply to any of the speaking exercise. It's really helpful to hear how you sound because sometimes when we speak, we can be focused on pronouncing the word and not really listening if we pronounce it right. But by recording, you can have feedback being like, oh, native speakers say it like this, I say it like that. How can I make it better? You know? Part 3. Part 3 is all about text. So anything with a text. So a book, article, dialogue, story, anything. If it's written, it's in this part. First point is read out loud. So reading out loud is not necessarily a dialogue, but anything. Just something you're interested in because you're going to read it a lot. By reading out loud, you're practicing saying the words in the target language. When I started to learn Korean, my Korean teacher will ask me to send her those recording of me reading a story about the tiger. And at the beginning, I thought it was only to practice my Hangul, getting used to how to pronounce and how to read Hangul. And at some point, I realized it started to help me with my speaking in Korean. One thing I try to focus on when doing this exercise is trying to read the text smoothly. So, read the text multiple times, see which words you stumble on, and try to correct it. And at the end, read it in one go. This is what I was doing with my Korean teacher at the time. I was reading the text multiple times, and then when I was sure I knew how to pronounce all the words, I will do a recording of everything in one go. And after recording, listen to yourself and see what you can improve, where thing was not smooth, etc., and try to correct it. And this is why I tell you, choose something you like and something you are interested in because you're gonna read it a lot. You know those dialogues in your textbooks? Yeah. Use those and practice reading them out loud and acting both sides. And when practicing with those dialogues, when you're used to it, try to change the subject, the location, what you're doing, with who you are. For example, if the text is about going to buy apples to the grocery shop with Mark, a fictional character, then you're going to the grocery shop with Julie, your best friend in real life, to buy chocolate cake because she loves chocolate cake. By making it more personal, it will feel more natural to use the language in your daily life. But you can also do your own dialogues by taking what you learn in class or creating dialogues based on your daily life. And since we are not native speaker, our dialogues that we do by yourself can be unnatural or not well structured. And this is where the last point comes in handy. Part 4, using AI. Some people love to use AI to chat and to practice speaking and chatting in the native language with the AI. I don't quite do that. When I use AI, it's more to correct my dialogues. Since I'm not a native speaker, sometimes my dialogue can be a bit unnatural, or I can use some vocabulary that does not fit the situation. And so I will ask the AI, can you make it more natural? Can you correct any mistakes? Explain to me why those mistakes should not be made. Here are some prompts I use for this exercise, and I hope they can be helpful to you too. Okay? And that's all, and I hope you enjoyed the video and that it can help you to level up your speaking skills. And if you're having a hard time constantly constructing the sentence in your head before saying them, watch this video. I introduce to you how I practice and review grammar points so it comes to me naturally and intuitively. That's it. I hope you enjoy, and bye-bye! Bye-bye!
Wanna make you happy and then she goes 나만 혼자 남겨뒀어 대화가 필요해